ABC News investigative reporter Catherine Falders joining me now. So, Catherine, we have seen a number of bombshells come out of the previous hearings with the promise of substantial footage, significant witness testimony. What should we expect next week as they wrap up?
So, look, it's unclear right now if there will be any live witnesses specifically at this next hearing. We expect this to be a recap of sorts in part. Right. They will take us through the day of January 6th again, Trump's desire to go to the Capitol, for example. And we know that during the August recess, when the House was out for about a month, investigators worked behind the scenes. They interviewed additional witnesses in videotaped depositions, some of those being cabinet secretaries in Trump's administration. We could see some more of that. We could also see more sound bites and more clips, for example, from Trump's former White House counsel, Pat Cipollone. That's what we should expect at this point. You heard Thompson. He said to reporters earlier this week that there should be more video that will be shown. But the big questions here are, do they ask ultimately Trump, do they invite Trump to speak with them under oath publicly? That's something they're discussing behind the scenes. We also know that they have negotiated terms of an interview behind closed doors with the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, with Ginny Thomas, who is exchanging text messages with people at the White House, who has communicated with state officials specifically on overturning the election in that particular state. That's something else to watch. We don't think that interview will happen before next week's hearing, so we probably won't see clips then. But after this hearing, their work is winding down, but those are the big questions, the big outstanding questions. We also could see some sort of report about their findings in the next couple months as well.
So, look, the committee has shown compelling evidence and testimony implicating President Trump in the attack on the Capitol, but so far the Justice Department has not brought any charges against him. Why is that? And could we see that happen down the line?
So the committee and the DOJ are obviously conducting investigations that are similar in nature, but very separate in terms of the way they're conducting them. Now, we know from DOJ that they just 2 weeks ago issued another round of subpoenas to nearly 40 people in Trump's orbit, people who still work for him, former White House and campaign officials, top aides, for example. Their investigation is very much still in full swing here. They're still talking to lots of people close to them. There's still questions about his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, for example, who had provided text messages to the congressional committee. So again, I think they're still very much in full swing here. When the congressional investigation essentially winds down and wraps up, we still will see a lot of investigating on the part of the Justice Department.
I am sure. And of course, another story we're watching closely, the documents seized by the FBI at the former president's Florida home. So the judge has now laid out a timeline for the DOJ to get electronic copies of the materials not labeled classified by Monday. What's the latest there, Catherine?
And so what the special master has also asked for is for Trump's lawyers to go through all of these documents and essentially say whether they would label them privileged in any way, whether that's executive privilege, attorney-client privilege. And if they do, then they have to lay out an explanation as to why they believe that. This will be interesting because Trump has been saying a lot of things publicly. He's claimed he's declassified some of the documents. He's claimed in some interviews that the FBI potentially planted evidence. Well, now the special master is essentially asking Trump's lawyers to say on the record in court whether any of this is true. So while he doesn't have the classified information, and while that is off limits here to Trump's team and to the special master, they still are going to have to detail these claims. Now, of course, Trump has denied any wrongdoing here, but at the end of the day, what his lawyers have been arguing in court, or not arguing, is different than what he's saying publicly. So they are going to have to put this on the record in some form.
For sure, lots to watch for next week. Catherine Falders, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.